There.
Live.
There we go.
We're live.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Aunt Pruitt here. Hope you're doing well. I'm unbelievable as always. This is another Thursday in the wonderful smartphone photographers community where we get together and have a little hangout on there that we like to call Point and Shoot. This is the weekly hangout on there to discuss different tips and tricks to make you a much better smartphone photographer. Because believe it or not, your smartphone is a pretty damn good camera if you know what you're doing. It ain't all about selfies. You can really get some good stuff out of these
Selfies
things.
are good, though. Let's not.
Selfies are good. Selfies are good, and this is also.
Selfies are dumb. I agree. That's one thing I agree with Leo.
But
selfies are dumb.
We can show you a lot of different things to make your photos look better and teach you some different tactics on taking those shots. As usual, we have some community members hanging out with us, a couple moderators in here as well. So I'm going to allow these guys to introduce themselves and say hello and so forth. We will start out with my man, Mr. Michael King. What's happening?
Pretty good. I've been a little under the weather, but I'm doing fine now.
I'm glad you're doing all right now. Glad to have you in here. Next up, my man, Mr. Michael Portis. How you doing?
Hello. It's good to have you guys be here.
Oh, he pulled out some.
I put on my glasses. Everyone else is wearing glasses, so I want to do it. Let me see. WrestleMania coming up. So.
Oh, you're one of those guys, huh?
WrestleMania. It's time. I've been biting my tongue and not being all excited for it, but this right here, gentlemen, is an envelope containing floor seats for WrestleMania.
Oh my gosh, you are such a nerd.
It is that time of year. It is that time of year, so we're excited.
Good. Glad to have you in here, Mr. WrestleMania.
Good to be back.
Next up, my man, Mr. Robert Knight.
Not freezing, but it's helping. And I guess I'm the only one without glasses, but that's okay.
Yeah. This time, actually, I don't wear glasses most of the time, so don't feel so bad. Because most of the time I can actually see, but today was not one of those days. I woke up and said, I can't see. It'd be like that some days.
Oh, the Four Eyes Club.
Yeah, right.
Okay, well, so I'm not left out. Give me just a couple minutes here.
Get some of them digital glasses on.
Yeah, I got a hunch. I know what's coming. It's good to see you, Robert. Next up, and lastly, my man, Mr. Terry Sutlick. What's happening, bro?
Not a whole lot. Just hanging out here in a balmy 2 degrees in Wisconsin.
Ooh, it's 2 degrees? What the heck?
No.
I'm telling you, I got to get back to San Diego, man. This is crap.
Jeez.
No.
Yeah, I was wondering about that move back. I knew that was going to happen.
And now Robert has glasses and a hat.
He's one up.
I'm representing the sorry NFC South all the way.
Oh yeah, the yucks.
Here's the last of the Four Eyes Club.
And the last one, just popping in. What's going on, Mr. Mike Sweeney?
It's just kind of a crazy day.
Boy,
crazy weekend coming up.
You know that feeling. And I see one of your hard heads back there. Which one is that?
That one's Olivia.
Hey, Miss Olivia, how you be?
Hello.
we won't poke fun of you just yet. But if you stick around, we will. Oh yeah. She runs off now.
Yeah, she runs. She's smart. She knows.
She knows better.
That's because I poke fun at her all the time.
She must watch the show.
She does, actually, sometimes.
Yeah, which is why she ran.
She also lives with me, so she gets it firsthand.
Oh, of course. Of course.
We started this thing called Sucker Punch in our house.
Seriously?
Oh, it's so much fun.
Boy, I hope DSS isn't watching this show.
That's right.
It's I'm not going to explain how the game is played, but my goodness, we were having a good time with it.
Yeah, we'll just leave it up to our own imagination.
Exactly.
How about that?
It's fun.
All right. Well, let's.
What's the matter, Robert? You were feeling left out with the glasses?
Yep.
That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was.
Yep.
I had to top it off with the hat, though.
The hat works.
That's one of them. Blind pirate. Yeah.
The blind pirate.
Let's go ahead and get rolling with this here. last week, our challenge winner, Mr. Tim McCusker, it's pretty funny. I don't know if you guys had noticed a couple of weeks ago when he won a challenge, he was, just grasping at straws, trying to figure out a theme for our weekly challenge, and he pretty much had warned me ahead of time. He's like, man, I might just start crowdsourcing, and, 'cause I'm running out of ideas. And so last week, when I mentioned that he was the winner, he said, you know what, I'm just going to ask my wife. And I said, yeah, that's not a bad idea. Just ask your wife to come up with a theme.
That works.
And she just says, lights, just like that. She just says, lights. And I said, okay, so this is going to be a nice broad challenge for us to take a look at, And it looks like everybody had some fun with it. We had about 20 some odd shots submitted this week. Yeah, 25. So appreciate the participation from the community. What we'll do is we'll go through a handful of the shots just to sort of highlight and nitpick here and there or give the kudos, and share our little suggestions on what we would have done or what we think would look better and some little ideas you can try. It's all in good fun and all in just, constructive criticism, And then we'll take a look at like our top 2 or 3 and give them their kudos and mention the winner who happens to be in this room, but that's okay. We'll get to that in a minute. All right, so I'm going to do a screen share. And which screen is it? This one? Yeah, that one. I'm going to hit share. Do you see my screen, gentlemen?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, so let me
Unfortunately.
focus on it. Now I'm going to scroll down, and let's first, since it's light, let's start with this one. These are some light bulbs, which
They are lights.
They didn't say what kind of lights it had to be.
This is true. Hence why this was going to be a very interesting hangout on there, because it's fairly broad with all of the different shots we have in here. Nice shot. I can't say too much about it. It's not horrible or anything like that. But it didn't really intrigue me either. But
No.
to give some credit, the clarity on this thing is pretty nice. What did you use? Some type of Galaxy S4. Okay. I can't really say much else about it. I don't think I would have done anything differently on it from a cropping standpoint. I may have tried to shoot at a lower angle and maybe shoot upwards at these things and not straight on. But outside of that, I don't know. So let's let you guys pick through this thing a little bit from Mr. Chris Seam using his S4 and Pixlr for his processing. We'll start with you, Mr. Sutlick.
Well, like you said, nothing really jumps out at me with this one. I do like the fact that it's exposed well, where you can actually see the details in the what would you call them, the shades, the glass shades.
Yeah, the little domes.
Yeah. It's not blowing out. The lights themselves aren't blown out, but as far as composition or anything like that, to me this looks more like a snapshot.
Yep, indeed. Anything you would have tried to do differently with these particular, items in the shot?
Can't say I can think of anything, to be honest. I probably wouldn't have taken the shot.
Right. Fair enough. Mr. Knight?
Didn't vote for it because all the pictures this week I blew them up full screen on my desktop.
Yeah.
So that, because a lot of times when you just look at them on your phone and vote, sometimes you don't see some of the things that stand out on the big screen.
Right.
And
I agree with you. I typically look at it on the computer instead of the smartphone.
Lower left corner, distortion, kind of threw me a little bit.
Right
Can I make something on the stove? Please? Can I
Go ahead, Robert. What'd you say?
I'll clean it after.
Someone's yelling at somebody.
It's
Somebody said something's on the stove. I'm not cooking in my house.
it's
But and I found the I guess this right at the bottom there. I guess that was storage for maybe beverages.
Yep,
So
looks
just
like it.
something to be a little bit of a distraction. Most of all, when I first saw it, it did capture my eye. and maybe look at it. But I kind of wish that the focus had not been on the lamp in the forefront, but more centered to kind of tunnel you down the middle, so that it was kind of walking you through the lamps. Because really the actual picture is looking at the lamps as a whole composition, not just focused on one lamp in particular.
Because there's so many of them in this particular photo.
Right. If he had maybe focused, say, the lamp right in the very back where those double lamps are, and tried to kind of tunnel you down that way, then it would have brought all the lamps in, and it would have caused kind of a blurring of the other stuff, but it would give you a different focal point.
Okay. Yeah, I'm curious to see how it would have been if it was a different focal point and if he would have had the same detail, or at least close to the same detail that he has in this one and this one here. All right, Sweeney, you're up.
Well, I'm not sure if it's a throwaway, but this would have been a prime case to use HDR.
Because of all of the different levels of light?
Yes. And the fact that I like what he's trying to do with the light where you see the pattern on it. I don't like the really bad hot spot because obviously it's so bright in the center.
Yeah.
So, some judicious use of HDR there would have, I think, really helped it. I probably would have cropped it square and cropped it significantly tighter on the two lights, the blue and the yellow, which I happen to think play off each other rather well.
These two?
Yeah, it's got potential. I'd have to kind of dink around with it a little bit, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point, it's just a snapshot.
Right. Okay.
It's lights. I mean, it hit the mark as far as lights, but there's not much to it.
Yep. All right. Portis?
I'm looking at it, and it was my son who's wanting to use this stove, by the way. and so I agree with the crop as a square crop. If you had cropped it tighter and just kind of focused on those sets of lights, I think it would have been a nicer photo. I also see the merit in tilting where you stand, so you're kind of brought through the lights. I think it would have been a nice photo that way. I think with lights, we can't be incredibly harsh on light spots because it's kind of the nature of the beast. I agree that HDR would have kind of knocked down some of the hot spots, but you kind of want to see some of those so you know it's a light.
Yeah, but I'm going to disagree with you for half a second, if you don't mind, sir.
Go for it.
Let's say we're shooting sunrise and sunset.
Mm-hmm.
The brightest light I've ever seen has been the sun.
Correct.
But yet there are a lot of times you can look at a sun in a photo and it's just too daggum bright without doing some processing. So, I mean, yeah, it's a light, but you can still put a little adjustment on it. Same
absolutely.
I think I'm the way I look at it. I think he had to have adjusted the contrast somehow because those light spots should be white hot, and they're not completely blown out on my screen at least. Yeah. And so it lends so that you can see through the glass, and I like the patterns on it. But everything around those three light bulbs is kind of just like what is that there for?
That goes back to square crop to get rid of some of that.
Yes, and exactly. I think it would be in a much better picture as a square crop. But even after you square crop it, it's still incredibly snapshot-esque.
I like that, snapshot-esque.
So that's my take on it.
All right, thank you, sir. Mr. King.
Yeah, it's okay. Better than what I can do, so I didn't vote for it, but I have to agree with everybody saying.
What take would you do from if you were to do something different with it?
I'm not good enough to even say that. I don't know. I'm telling you the truth. I'm not that good.
Well, what would have
I disagree with that, but all right.
What would have looked good to you?
Maybe not have quite as much contrast and not have everything in the background so dark. Maybe that would have helped a little bit to get a
Okay.
little more definition.
Okay. Again, sort of leading you through the shot, as everybody else
Mhm.
is saying. Okay.
Yes.
All right, I could buy that. All right, well, that was from Chris Scene. Chris Scene. Appreciate you participating, bro. You and your S4. All right, so I want to go to somebody. Hadn't seen him in a little while in the community, but it's good to see him back in here. Oh boy, let's see if we can say this name. Marius Zawadsky. I hope that's his name.
You're probably not even close, but that's okay.
Yeah,
From Maurice.
yeah,
Maurice.
Maurice Z. MZ. All right. This
Morzy.
was taken with his S4 Mini. Haven't seen one of those. This was actually one of the first shots that was submitted, if I remember right.
Yes.
And I like what he was going for, but again, it might have helped with, if possible, with an HDR on it because it got
Definitely.
crazy noisy
Yep.
over
And
here.
then blown out right in the middle.
And right there.
That's not really noise, so to speak.
You don't think so?
Well,
It's pretty
okay.
consistent
Have you been-
across there and here.
there's noise, but that's going to happen if you've been to a light show like this.
Uh-huh.
They produce a lot of smoke, I guess you would call it.
Oh, no, I
That's
get
why-
that. And
That's what a lot of that noise is the probably from the
Right.
smoke machine.
So he's getting a lot of the particles is the problem.
okay.
The only thing that could really probably clean that up, at least from this standpoint, is actually post-editing.
Yeah.
If he was using, say, a full-on camera, he could probably get away with it because he could probably get something 50 megapixels. It would blow that out the water.
Uh-huh.
But being a Galaxy S4 Mini, he's probably running 8 megapixels max.
Yeah.
And from the distance, yeah, he's going to get that. Now, the thing is, he can either play with it and try to incorporate it more, but the only way to kind of get rid of it is through contrast and highlight adjustment.
There's some.
You can minimize it.
It seems like he would have been able to do something with maybe a filter of some sort to play along with it, to try to work with it in the shot.
Right.
I know sometimes drama filter will overdo things, but I don't know. Maybe would have tried it there.
I don't know, but those light trails though, I really like the light. It's the only thing in the photo I like. Are the light trails.
That's the thing. I like that idea, but again, it was just he had a few other little technicalities.
There's
that
so
fought
many other
against him.
things, and the structure. He's clearly behind something.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what. I don't know.
I thought the structure worked. I wish this side was a little more evened out, but again, this is the seats he paid for. But I like the idea of the light shooting through these structures. What's your thought?
I like that myself. I agree with you about the lights on the coming through the structure. That was what got my vote. That, and then I'm always a fan of a silhouette in a picture, and that structure, the silhouette of the structure, really struck me.
Fan of the silhouette, you say, huh?
I don't know what you're referring to.
Yeah, we call that foreshadowing, folks.
Exactly. Yes.
Oh well, here's another one I can screw up.
What's your thoughts on this, King?
She said, "I like the light beams. That's the only thing I really like about it. The center of it is so blown out that it distracts from it. It's just like the center is just a blob of light.
Okay.
And I can't even tell what band that is.
Portal. It almost looks like an Ingress portal to me.
Uh-huh.
On that green.
I also might like the thing of depending on what band it is.
Of course. What about you, Mr. Sweeney?
This is a classic case where you use a tool like Blender, and you take a couple shots. You take one to get the really cool spotlight trails, and you take a second one to get the band exposed right, and then you blend them together to get the final output.
Blend them all in.
You know, the idea of shooting a single shot and then just kind of settling for a second-rate picture is a little upsetting. You know, the tools we've got on our phones nowadays will let us work these images to get what we see, not what we have to live with.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, even just within your stock editor, you have a lot of different options nowadays.
You do. But in this case, you're probably talking a 10-stop latitude between the bright and the dark, at least. And I'm also a little. I keep looking at the image, and again, I love the silhouettes too. I like what he did with that, but it's not square or center or something because I keep kind of tipping my head.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what we were saying previously. I mean, some type of way to even out over here, or push these to the other side. But and then the seats he had.
No, I get it. But again, in post, you can change a lot of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can mold the image to fit what you want it to be. Mm-hmm. I mean, the beauty about what we've got today on our phones is you're not married to reality.
Yeah.
You can see it, and then you can see it in your head of what you want, and you can make it happen. Just gotta put out the effort.
Yeah, this is true. I wonder if MZ here has used any specific editors, in the past.
He didn't say any comments or anything.
Yeah, he didn't say in his comments, but I wonder, has he ever tried out something like a Pixlr, that's free online or something?
I'm sure he would be happy to add a comment.
Yeah, something like.
Won't you?
Yeah.
Right.
Inquiry minds want to know.
And how to pronounce your name correctly.
Yeah, I've got
just
no
a phonetic
shot on
spelling would be
Yeah.
I've got no shot on that one there. All right. I'm gonna let y'all pick on this one here.
Oh, that's only because of who took it.
This is from Nicole H, man, and yeah, you guys know how I feel about her work. This one here, light. Let me think about that. Light. Light is not the first thing that comes to my mind, but I love what she did here.
Well, it is reflecting off the can.
Yeah, light is reflecting off the can, so that's why she would get a check mark for pass, as in a passing grade, if you will. So I can't necessarily speak to the fact of light, but I like this shot in general. With the way she's got it cropped nice and tightly, and the hook perfectly centered, the detail, it's she normally does some different editing tips here.
I thought I trained you better, Ant.
I'm trying. I'm getting there. I failed you, teacher. I'm sorry. But no, I really like this photo. Outside of back here, I would have used something like retouch or something and cloned that out.
Got rid of that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, man, yeah, I like what she did here. So go ahead and pick on this one, Robert.
It was just a photo to me. I didn't vote for it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I didn't vote for it. I still like it.
It's nice. It's nice looking. No doubt about it. It's nice looking. But I was looking for what's the light about, and I honestly didn't get what was the light about. So.
Right.
It's a nice photo. I think in some magazine or something it would make a good stock photo.
Yeah, nice stock photo.
But for this particular competition, no vote for me.
All right. Sweeney?
You're both wrong.
Well, bring it. What's wrong here?
When I saw this the first time, I immediately thought of light.
Okay.
And I thought of it because she's using the classic contrast to show you the light left side, the dark right side. I love that, how the chain is actually the divider between the two halves of the picture.
Yeah.
What I don't like is it's a little blown. Again,
What,
maybe in post. Yeah. maybe a little in post would have fixed it.
Hold
maybe,
on, I want to move it to my other monitor. I can see a little better. Hold on.
All right, maybe a little HDR, but I'll disagree on the cropping. That's too tight.
Really?
Because
dude.
because at the bottom it's fine because it's kind of a wedge shape. But at the top, it feels really visually cramped. Now, if you would have taken the crop, and you see how the bucket's got that angle going up?
Yep.
Okay, she's trying to get the corners, I think, to match, but she's a little short. So you need to play on that angle with your crop, yeah. But it just feels visually a little crunched for me. You already know I'm not a big fan of dead center, but I kind of like how that chain's in the center, though.
Yeah, I like that.
I love the texture. Excuse me.
Only
the texture's awesome.
I get what you're saying about the center, the chain dividing it. I see that now, but for me, it wasn't enough of a contrast to kick that right off in my head.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I might ask Nicole to try, just for giggles, is to flip it to a black and white and then punch up the structure really hard.
Ooh,
to really accent
the
the
cool
chain and the textures and everything.
Yeah, I bet that would look cool in black and white.
Yeah, I think so.
Only thing I disagree is just that the bottom cropping. I like it where it is myself, but that's just me.
That's art.
That's like the first time I like totally disagree with Sweeney. He's probably gonna hurt me.
Don't you hear me cracking my knuckles over here?
Yes. Let me run.
me and my 16-ounce curls I can do.
Like a champ, bro.
Like but then I don't have chicken legs, so I can run fast.
Oh, he cut me, folks.
Oh my gosh.
That's okay. All right.
Wow.
I can run fast.
Wow.
That's okay. Mr. Sutlick, let me hear your thoughts on it.
Well, I do like the texture in it. I'm really undecided about the chain. I think it would look good. I like the way it is, but I think it would kind of look nice along one of the thirds lines.
Okay.
On the right side.
So maybe over to the right about here.
Yeah, maybe in between. Yeah. But I kind of like that window in the background, but I wish she could have done something different because I kind of look at it as here's that artistic impersonation or implication or whatever you want to call it. I look at it as kind of a mysterious window in the background. That's what I was thinking.
Oh, you're wrong, Terry. You're wrong.
I'm always wrong.
Just teasing.
I know.
Oh, man.
But overall, I liked it.
Yeah. King.
I liked it. I kind of agree with everybody else. It's. I would love to see maybe a little more of the top. I think she might have cropped it a little too much, but.
So you want to see the handle and whatever it's actually hanging on? Is that what you're saying?
That, yes. Okay. Otherwise, it's. I can't knock her stuff because she is so good.
Yeah, she is.
She has talent.
Mr. Portis.
I've been looking at this and I don't think I see Mike's point of view with how it's displaying light, having the divider go down the center, and I like that. I don't like the window in the background. It's kind of like extra information that could just go away, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Told you, Terry, you're wrong.
And I don't understand that window at all back there. If it was closer to the window, then the window's the light source for it. But
I dig that.
But it's not. There's not. There might be a window, and you could see in the reflection that there's another window on the other side of it.
Yep.
That's where it's getting its light from. I don't think it's too blown, honestly, at all. And I like the rust in the hook. I think the rust in the hook is what makes it for me.
Yeah.
I can give no whatever you knows for seeing the handle. I think the crop it's nice. It's a good crop. It's a solid crop. It's a crop that wins championships. It's a beautiful.
That's only because it's the Portis crop on the vertical.
It's the Portis on the vertical.
It's a beautiful crop. At the end of the day, this is a beautiful photo, Nicole.
Yeah.
It just does not fit in the challenge.
Yeah.
No, if she did use something like the healing tool or something like that took out that window, that would have been a lot better.
She didn't.
No, leave the window. And keep in mind, the challenge was light, which is pretty ambiguous, so she hit the mark.
I think, like, for me, clearly, like, that bucket, maybe it's, like, when I saw it, I was like, is that bucket not weigh a lot? Is that the light she was going for? Like, is that what we're doing? But, I mean, other than that, I mean, again, it's a beautiful photo. Just, I don't think it says light as in, like, light.
Maybe it's a play. It needs light. Who knows? Good shot still. Either way. All right. Let's take a look at one more top vote getter here. Where was it? Where'd it go? I lost it.
Did you ever have it?
Well, damn, where'd it go?
I don't know. If you don't know where it is, I don't know where it is.
There it is. This is another one by Nicole. Here we go. This is another one by Nicole.
That rocks.
And
that is the best one.
I'm wondering, you know what? She really, really tried to set this up. She waited to the right time of morning or evening. Said, you know what? Nope, it's not time yet. I'll be back in 5 minutes. And snap this thing just right. And what I like about it is we have the shadow of the blinds, but had these little shadows been going horizontal like that, it would have been pretty ugly and pretty boring. But I like the fact that it plays on a nice curve. Would have put
Oh my God!
more
AT&T Death Star.
the Death Star.
Wow.
Nice. Such a nerd too.
The AT&T Death Star. If we named our episodes, that would be the title.
That would be the one.
That would be the money shot.
I would have given this a little more contrast, but I guess bumping it too much would have lost some of these little fine details here in this lampshade. But outside of that, well freaking done using her S5 and Photoshop Express. Really?
Yeah.
Huh?
I know a little bit more history about this shot than what's printed right there.
Well, let's hear it, brother.
I've seen the color version of it.
You have.
Yeah. Also, she made her mom get off the phone so she could get that shot.
Oh man. Well, we call that dedication. Look, folks, I need y'all to leave the room so I can shoot this photo, please.
Sitting and she saw it and was like, "I gotta get this," and she was on the phone with her mom. I was like, "Mom, gotta go. Talk to you later. I got a picture to take."
Thanks, Mom. Gotta go.
Wow.
Too hip, too cool. Gotta go.
I bet Mom gets that though, considering all of the shots that she does capture, not only with her phone but with her SLR too. I mean, she's pretty damn talented. Mr. Sutler, let's start with you.
Yeah, this one was the first one that I saw and really jumped out at me. I love the horizontal lines, the diagonal lines, the vertical line. It's just everything. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
The shadows coming in diagonally, just a hint of gray shadow from the window on the lampshade itself. The vertical line of the side of the window is like perfectly vertical.
Yeah.
I just love the way it all comes together, and then all that negative space.
Yeah. So you wouldn't have cropped over here a little tighter?
No, I actually like that fall off.
Mm-hmm. Just picking your brain.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Mr. King.
This is the perfect shot, in my opinion, because just everything's just framed just right. All the different lines going in every direction. All that needs is the AT&T logo, and then that'd been perfect. but no, just
I think
all-
Nicole is a fanboy.
but no, just all the way the lines go, and then the lines of the blinds
Mhm.
in the window. It's just perfect. I don't it's either blinds or shutters. I can't tell one of the two,
Yeah, they look like blinds. Look like blinds.
but it's just perfect, and I like the negative space.
Negative space. We hadn't heard that in months. Mr. Portis.
I'm gonna take the other route and say I don't like the black and white. It's grayscale. Make it really black and white, and I think that that's a better photo.
Okay.
Other than that, it's pretty. I mean, you could tell that. I mean, this. I don't think the shot necessarily took a specific time of day. If I didn't have my I have Batman blackout curtains in my office here, and with the sun coming in, I can just turn the light off in the room and adjust the blind accordingly, and you have this shot. Not to take away anything from it technically, because it's really well done. I think it's with the grayscale, it avoids the tendency of these things to be noisy. And on my monitor, I see very, very little noise in the darker areas. The crop again is world class. But I would have liked to see a more black and white instead of more of the grayscale look.
Yeah. So make this darker. Make that darker.
Right.
Okay.
Black.
Yeah. All right. Mr. Sweeney.
Nope.
Nope. Why not?
Mr.
Good
Portis
news,
is
I'm gonna ask you
incorrect in one statement. Actually, two statements.
Twice. It's my turn to be wrong now.
No, you just need to be educated.
Educated. You're not wrong. You're ignorant.
Condescending here, huh?
Do you have some way you could cover up the lower third of this image?
I do. Let me grab my trusty notepad winder.
Okay, go up, right there. Up, too high. Drop it. Keep going. Right there. Now, play with that and punch up the contrast slightly more. I disagree. It's not a black and white. It is. It's got clean whites. It's got clean blacks with just a touch of gray. But I think she could play with the contrast a little bit more. And I think losing that lower, I don't know, quarter or third or whatever it is, helps the picture because it focuses you on that cool light design that's going on.
I can see that, but then it makes it
Crap
like,
right
what the
there
heck
is-
is that?
Yeah, crap
Who
right here
cares?
is too
It's
tight.
cool.
So right there is not cropped enough to you?
I'm crop happy. So
No, you need to go up a little higher.
If you do that, it's like a
Right there,
zebra.
right there.
I think somewhere in where you started there and where you finish, I think it would be the magic spot. Just enough to show it's a lamp cover.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, because I think it takes away if you can't see that's a lamp cover. Otherwise, it looks like I don't know, a hidden. It's a zebra. That's what it is. It's a zebra.
But I love the diagonal you get with the lamp.
Yeah, that's
And
weird.
she needs to play on that. Or play off it, I guess is the right way to phrase it.
Interesting.
No.
No.
Nope.
It needs
No, definitely no.
it needs the top.
Yeah, I
Nope.
agree.
Nope.
Ant doesn't want to hear it.
Oh, I'm just looking. I'm just
doing-
looking. You think I'm
I'm
paying you
doing-
guys any attention now? No.
I'm the host. I put the focus on me. I'll do what I want.
I got that.
That's right.
Damn it. All right, Nicole, very nice shot. Very nice. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the top vote getter here. Somebody by the name of Terry Sutlick.
I would have said his name wrong just for fun.
Wouldn't bother me. I've had it for years.
I would have just like botched the name on that one.
Yeah, Terry's Scutlet.
Thierry Soule.
No, what was that? Was that Studlet? Yeah.
Studlet.
Scutlet.
Heard it all. Thank you.
Terry Sutlet.
Mr. Snowbound.
My man, from the perspective of getting light, boom, you got it. And just as you said earlier in this here hangout,
It looks too cold.
you clearly like some silhouettes and shadows. I totally dig the shot. I love the what's the word I'm looking for? The mood of it with the shadow being so grown and drawn out like this, and it's got a little grain to it. I know you're in dadgum Wisconsin freezing your giblets off, and this shot says, I am out here shooting this photo, freezing my giblets off, but it looks damn good. So, you know,
It looks too cold with all that snow.
It is.
This is nice. This is with a Nexus 5, right? Nexus
Yes.
5. And capturing
That's
raw
the only
from
problem.
that. Very nice. I wish I could shoot in raw. Let's since you're in here, man, take us through your shot.
Well, this is actually like 2 blocks from my house.
Okay.
And it's a park right on the Mississippi River, just beyond the snow there. It's actually the main channel of the Mississippi.
Okay.
And I drive by this on the way home every day. And one day I just happened to look out the window and went, I love that shadow. I've got to get it. And then when light became the subject, it was like, okay, I know exactly what I'm doing. And we came home one night, and my wife got out of the car, and I drove back over there, got out, and tramped through the snow about 50 yards, and got exactly where I wanted to be. And here it is. And I was going for symmetry, along with the shadows and the silhouette.
Of course.
So, normally, I wouldn't put the tree right in the middle of the picture, or straight up and down the middle, but because I wanted the symmetry of the shadows falling at the angles, I did go for the symmetry.
That's the only way that works, bro, if you ask me. I love it. Let me switch it to my other screen real quick. Hold on. Yeah, that looks good. And like I said, the whole just the little bit of grain that I see in it, man, I like how that works with it here. And what editor you use? Wow, you use Photoshop Express too? Really?
Yeah. Yep. I've been playing with it a little bit more and more lately, except I keep getting forced closes on it.
Okay, that sounds
nothing
normal.
you, King.
That sounds normal. Oh, damn, bro. I don't know of anything I would have done differently on this. I like the squared aspect, and I like that it's centered.
Sweeney would find something wrong with it.
No.
I think it's just too grainy.
Too grainy for you?
It's too grainy, and this is a grayscale photo. I'm not wrong on this one, Mr. Sweeney.
Yeah.
It's just I don't like all the extra grain.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know necessarily what you could have done. Did you take it like in HDR or anything like that?
No, I took this just as a single shot. I tried using RAW for the very first time to see if that might help me with noise reduction, but unfortunately,
you're fighting that direct light. I mean, that's your worst enemy. I mean, it makes a gorgeous shot, but having that direct light right in through the tree and not have that tree area blown out is a little feat of amazingness if I had to say myself.
And that was bringing down the highlights. It was blown out in the original shot. That's where the RAW came in, and the Nexus 5 is one of the few that can actually shoot in RAW now.
Yeah,
so,
I know.
What just started editing in RAW? Some online thing does RAW now. I saw the other day. Some online photo editor.
Is it Pixlr?
Let me look at my email. They sent me an email about it.
Pixlr, or maybe that Polar?
Something does right. But it's an online editor. It does RAW now for some.
Interesting.
Well, if I really wanted to get technical, I could have broken Portis's rules and put it over to my computer and done it in Lightroom and Photoshop there.
Why, yes, you could.
And that's why I'm so happy with it. That's why I'm willing to forgive the grain, because you clearly said, hey, this is a mobile photography challenge. Let me do this on my mobile phone.
That's exactly what I did it.
So kudos.
Oh my gosh.
But the grain, I think. Sorry?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I thought King was going to say something there. No, The grain, I think, was just a byproduct of the processing, to be honest.
Okay.
Because I did push it. I did push it a little bit. I personally would have liked to see a little bit less grain, but within Photoshop Express, you actually have to make a separate purchase to get the noise reduction.
Noise reduction, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I just wasn't willing to do that at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, I that's one of the downfalls for Photoshop Express. They nickel and dime you for absolutely everything in that app. Oh, you want to do this? Give us an extra 99 cents. Give us an extra $5. Just, make it a paid app, because it's free, isn't it now?
Yeah.
Charge me $5 and give me all the features.
It should have been that should have been part of the
The Creative Cloud.
Yeah,
Right, which I
Creative
have.
Cloud.
That's what I was going to ask
Part
you.
of it, and that it should have been all into that. If you get the
Creative Cloud, you get
Photoshop
everything.
Express and Creative Cloud, they should be able to just give you everything by just saying install, install, install.
Terry, I know you had Lightroom Mobile, right?
Right. I haven't really tinkered with it. I don't like the way you have to import into I forget what they call them, but I just don't like having to import into it manually. And to be honest, I did try to do it. I didn't spend a lot of time on it, but the raw photo, I had to actually download a third-party file editor for my phone to find the file in my files because it was hidden from my gallery.
Because it wouldn't even show. Dang.
Really?
Yep.
Well, what's the point of that, Google?
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, where is this picture? I'm looking through the Photos app, and it's nowhere to be found. So I just decided to go. I went and grabbed, I think it was ES File Explorer, and looked in my DSIM folder. There it is.
No, it's not. It doesn't do the raw. Whatever. What did you shoot it for to use the raw, or is that Google's native camera?
That's a new
raw?
option in Lollipop.
And it won't.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
This was manual camera. It's a third-party app, manual camera that uses the Google API.
So, but they don't. Okay, well, here, let me back up and explain. In the iOS world, every camera app, for the most part, there are a few exceptions, have what they deem as a lightbox and then your library. And you have the choice of sending it to your lightbox or to your library. Why didn't they just go that route? And you don't necessarily need to have them in your general population. I get that. But have some place where they're dedicated, and then you can export them out with whatever you want.
Photoshop Express could not read the raw format. That's just the base.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, all of our photos, when we take them, they all dump into one main place. Even when you use other apps, you can tell it dump this in the one, location.
Okay.
The one folder, the DCIM folder. You can tell all photos to go there no matter which app. But Photoshop Express could not read the raw file format. I can do raw file format as well.
So when it's just an update thing from Adobe, then it sounds like.
No, not exactly.
No.
It's twofold actually.
If he had to get a File Explorer to find that file, that's OS level.
Okay.
Well, that's not
Android
fully OS
problems.
level, because if it was OS level, he wouldn't be able to use the manual camera.
Oh yeah.
Which means he has the API, which allows for raw shooting.
Yeah.
So that's a application level problem with Photoshop Express not picking up the raw file. Now it could be that Photoshop Express may be using the KitKat API, which locks them to their own folder directory.
Okay.
And does not allow them to explore the other photo directories in full. That is a possibility, which means they just need to update their app.
Update the app. Mike, you use Camera Plus, don't you?
Yeah.
At least now, we, specifically speaking of camera of RAW, isn't that what, or their version of RAW, isn't that what Camera Plus uses? Because I know you have, when you look at your file structure for Camera Plus specifically, it's not a JPEG that app it doesn't make a JPEG. It's something along the line of RAW, and then it delves it down. Am I correct?
Sort of like that.
It's kind of like a RAW.
Yeah, it's kind of like, but it's not a true RAW like the Nexus 5 can do.
Okay.
But also that Hydra app will do a very high
That's,
resolution
yeah,
shot.
it's a very high resolution. I mean, it's a higher resolution than a normal iPhone app photo. In that, if you take a picture with Apple's stock camera app, on the high setting, it's about a 2 to 3 megabyte picture. On the
Right.
Camera Plus, it's a 5.4 to 6, depending on what's in your
Yeah.
photo file size. So I know they're doing something.
Yeah.
It's something along the line of
To
wrong.
show you what the Hydra does, there's that. This one's done with Hydra, and you notice how large the file size is.
Right. It's a significantly larger file.
Yeah, and it does mess with your. It does change your iOS quite. I mean, ISO.
ISOs, yeah, because they have to be in RAW to get that kind of detailed shooting, don't they?
What it does, it'll take. I had to edit this one because my camera moved just because I was having some medical problems. My camera moved, and as it was taking to the very top, it got a little jittery because I've moved just a little bit, so I had to crop that out. But what it does, it'll take about 20 shots of the same thing, and just keeps going until it gets to a very high resolution.
And just layers it on itself.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and then stitches them together to be one shot.
I can't remember if I asked you this last week, King, but the file size on those, are you ending up with like, 4 and 5 megabyte pictures?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's set to the maximum. The maximum megabyte is 32.
Wow, that dang.
It's
That's
almost
pretty
it's
dense.
almost like a raw, and it will keep doing it till it'll keep at one layer them on from the top or from the bottom up until you get several. Do quite a few passes, and what it'll do, and it'll just keep doing. Where if you zoom like on this one, I can zoom in.
Michael, is it taking it at different exposures every time it takes a snap? Does it like ramp up the?
Kind of, yeah. There we go.
Los Portis.
So it's like my camera's been doing that all damn day.
There you are.
Is it
All
like a Uber HDR kind of like process?
Kind of, but it's more. It just adds the resolution. As you notice, I probably zoomed in about as. Yeah, I've zoomed in as far as you can, and you can actually see that we had rain that day, and you can see the
Yeah.
water puddles,
Yeah.
Which-
Oh, see, that's really neat.
which you normally can't see on a normal smartphone picture.
Right.
So, I mean, it will really bring in the resolution.
Pixel density.
Yeah, just talking about all that. I just looked on my phone about the properties on the DNG, the digital negative, from
Yep.
the picture that I shared.
Oh, there we go. Look at that.
Yeah.
15.44 megabytes for that picture.
Of the
Dang,
the
15.
digital negative?
Yeah,
Mhm.
the DNG file. That's the raw format that it uses.
Jeez.
Yep.
Let me also I'll kind of give you another thing. Let me go back to the community and
That's insane.
find my hog pictures. You can see the seat, the metal. Here we go. You see how the metal parts of the seat, how well it is so defined.
Right. That's normally sort of blurred.
And you see how good By the way, that's Bob Levitas doing their thing.
Are they talking about? I wanted to ask you that. Is that the new Ollie clip? Olo, however the hell you say it. Clip?
It is.
It's the new one for the 6. And 6 Plus. Okay.
But you can see how all the metal shows up real defined and everything. But here's the only problem, because it does do that. Bob was moving around. You can see how he's kind of blurred out a little bit. That's the only thing. You have to be pretty still. Now, if you're pulled back, you don't notice it as much. But if you get close, you can see where something moves. There's now a wide shot of that. But see how I love the definition of this thing.
So back to your picture, Terry. On yours, you said you just did it by hand, no tripod or anything like that, right?
Right. Yeah.
Just
I had
stood
to
in
walk
snow.
about 50 yards out into the snow, and I didn't feel like hauling the tripod that far. Well, I don't have a mount for my
Uh,
smartphone for the tripod yet.
I wouldn't be traipsing anywhere in the snow just for you get extra points because I'm from California, Jack. We don't deal with this. But you must have been very still and deliberate in your shooting because normally with something like this, you have that little I don't know, the ghosting. If you even move slightly in these kind of photos, you get a ton of ghosting, and it's just the lines are really crisp on this.
Oh yeah, it's just an excellent shot.
Well, I appreciate that, but I think it had to do with. I think I've learned with my DSLR shooting that I kind of do the take a couple of breaths and then I breathe out real slowly and I just take the shot real. And I've learned my technique.
It's just
Really
like
Same
deliberately.
thing here.
Yeah,
very
like a
deliberate.
sniper. I've said that for the longest, that you sort of have to be like a sniper when you go to hit the shutter, because just the slightest movement, man, will totally set that stuff off.
That's the one thing. Since I do a lot of shooting, not camera shooting, the other
gun
type,
shooting.
I practice the breathing,
Right.
and that's the thing. And I try to say, okay, to get bullseyes, let me try this with the camera. Just take, right before I take a thing, to inhale, exhale. As soon as I do it, instead of pulling the trigger, I'm pushing the shutter button.
Right.
So that really helps. And as you say, for the I've gotten a long range. I got one of these single duty type rifles that are long range. It is a sniper rifle. It's a 7.62 by 51 NATO, which is a 308 with a good scope on it. And I'm using that breathing. And then I said, let me try all this
With
the
my
camera.
smartphone.
With
the
both,
camera.
no, not only the smartphone, but with the DSLR and smartphone, and it really has improved. It helps.
Excellent. Well, Mr. Sutlick, you're
on the clock.
on the clock, sir. Congratulations. We all applaud. Congratulations on winning the challenge this week, sir. So, you know what to do. Give us a nice challenge.
Gentle.
I'll be gentle. I won't be like Deborah.
Why am I feeling the silhouettes is going to be the challenge?
Oh gosh. I could probably deal with silhouettes, but I'm not going to make any promises. It's a tough time for us to get out of here, but I wanted to share real quickly, because it just popped in my head when I said it a few minutes ago. The Polar, I guess that's how you say it, POLARR, Polar, is an online photo editor.
That's the one with the raw. Thank you.
Yes.
I've been looking for that in my email for the last 20 minutes.
Now, I got wind of this the other day because one of the technology sites talked about using a photo editor on your Chromebook. And so I said, well, let me take a look-see here. Let me pull this thing up. Share. All right, you guys see my screen?
I just see a blank
See
screen.
black.
There it is.
There it goes.
There it is. All
right. So this is it. And I swear, it sort of reminded me of like the Lightroom and Light Zone from a UI standpoint, because it gives you the same layout of trying to guide you through, what you should necessarily touch going through the shot. And this is an old shot. I think I shot this with.
This is the golf trip. This is the golf trip one.
Oh,
right?
No. This is way older than that. This is the local course here.
Oh.
And I'm thinking this was with my old Droid X, I believe. But again, this is just like, this reminds me of Lightroom, and it does pretty well. I had another shot that I edited with it, and it came out really well. My only beef was I can't quite figure out cropping in this thing. You hit that there to say original crop. It moves it there. I hit enter. Nothing really happens. I don't know, so I have to reset it all. But if I do this, the whole Portis way, you would think I get some type of slider. I still get nothing. So I don't know. I need to find the instruction manual, if you will, just from a cropping standpoint. And then you have all of these other presets, just like the other editors that we pay for over here on the left. And even though you select a preset, of course, you can still go in and change things in the sliders. See, like that contrast strength and so forth. So right there, that shot looks like an old golf course back in the 70s.
Yeah,
or
but the tree is messed
tree is
up
blacked
now.
out. Yeah, it's all blacked out. Yeah. But I like this okay. Now, you do have to register for either a Polar account, hope I'm pronouncing that right, or you can just sign in with your Google account information if you want
Is
to
it
share
a Google
that.
property? Have they bought it yet,
so.
in other words?
I don't think so. That's something to look forward to, considering they already bought Nick software. Would they want to jump on something like this as well?
Probably. If they combine the technologies.
Right. But I like that. I played around with it a couple of times. I want to say back over on Sunday or something, and it's like, this
That's
is
neat
quite
looking.
all right. Just
I need to check that out, man. Thanks for telling me about it. I didn't know that even existed.
Yeah, it's free to use, and it's all run within your browser. Like I said, it was shared to me by one of the guys I follow, and Mr. Brian Hellick is his name, and it talked about using Chromebooks and using photo editors on Chromebooks, because I've done Pixlr most of the time on my Chromebook, and I've also done the Google Online Editor, which is essentially Snapseed or whatever. But it's all good. I like it. Now I'm just going to find some instructions on how to properly crop things. We'll see. All right, we're going to go ahead and get out of here, folks. I'm going to allow you guys here in the Hangout to give us a little sign-off. We'll start with Mr. Terry Sutlick. Where can we find you and your work? You're muted, sir. Nope, you're muted, sir. We don't read lips very well, Terry.
There he goes.
There we go.
Yeah, I got you.
And I like my lower third down here says I got my website, T Sutlick Photo. It's pretty rudimentary, but it gets the job done.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Yep.
It definitely does.
I'm here on Google Plus mostly. I'm on that other Blue network. Let's see. that network that shall not be named.
We won't discuss
what
that.
else? T Sutlick Photo on Instagram and also on Twitter.
No, right. Well, thank you for joining us, man, and congrats again on the win. Next up, Mr. Robert Knight.
I'm around this place here. Google Plus.
He's using his middle initial again, everyone.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, there's a slight change. Just some other things going on. I'm rebranding and connecting out.
Yep.
But you'll find me here. I'm also back on Twitter. But don't
Yeah, I want to say I had a Twitter spotting of you recently.
Yeah, I'm kind of like the ghost of Twitter that shows up.
Interesting.
I think this account will stick though, especially since if I break this account, then it breaks about 20 other things, which will take me 3 hours to fix.
Oh my goodness! Now
Yeah, I broke the link. My 500 Pix account has a new address.
Okay.
This took me 3 hours to fix because I broke it when I was setting everything up. So
Wow.
now
So you put
it's
the initial in there now. Okay.
initial. So it's Robert_M_Knight.500pix.com. I take yummy photos.
Yep.
This is very good. Portis crop, by the way.
Yep.
Look for this crop in the house. All
good.
right.
Oh, that looks good too.
You can find me there. You can find me on Google Plus. I have fired back up my blog as well, Dispersed Thoughts.
Yep.
So if you follow me on Twitter or on Google Plus, you'll see posting the blog there as well.
All right. Thank you for joining us, my man. Good seeing you always.
Nice to be here.
Next up, Michael Portis.
First and foremost, thanks, Robert. I will now be having Panda Express for dinner. My God, that looked good. You can find me online, Black on a Mac, blackandamac.com, Black and Mac on your favorite interweb site. What's going on? A lot of video stuff for me. That's why I wasn't around last week. I was in a production meeting. And we're going to be doing, I have a few more over the next.
Well, we lost it again. Lost your camera. I think your mic is actually your camera now, too, just to let you know.
Is it?
And your audio just
My
dropped.
audio, it dropped out. Like, I dropped out completely.
When the camera died, the audio died. And it doesn't sound like you're on a condenser now. Nope.
It doesn't? Nope.
No, it sounds like you're on your mic now.
Am I on my mic again?
Because I hear a dog barking.
Well, yeah, and that's this. That's that why. We have a new dog next door, and
shoot it.
That's my dog barking at the new dog.
At the new dog.
Tell him to shut up.
She's a palm chi, and she's got a mind of her own.
Honestly,
I think when it comes to my dogs specifically, if you tell them to shut up, they think, "Ooh, the humans are barking also. Let's make more noise." And so we're good. But find me online. I'll be around tweeting stuff.
Well, Portis, at least your dog doesn't tell you to shut up like my bird does.
No, I'm good. See, that's why we don't have birds. The only bird we eat birds.
Damn right.
We eat birds. We don't keep them as pets.
Appreciate you joining us, bro.
Right. A pleasure being here.
See you. All right, lastly, Mr. Michael King.
I can be found anywhere on the web at Michael King 4023. And the two places you find me the most is, three: Facebook, Twitter, and Google+.
All right. Thank you for joining us, brother. Glad to have you as always.
No problem. It's always fun.
All right. Lastly, myself. I am Ant Pruitt. Find me here in Google+, of course, since that's where this hangout is. And you can also find me on Twitter at Ant_Pruitt. They're on Twitter, Ant_Pruitt. This week has been a little busy for me because I normally would like to plug AmazingPhonePhotos.com, but this week and last week has really been slowing me down on getting the content published for that site. It is a nice, simple gallery site of, you got it, Amazing Phone Photos. There's also our community website, which is smartphone-photographers.com. That'll be the site to go to check out all of the reruns of this hangout and the other previous hangouts, as well as, a few discussions on different tips and things that, we find and come across. So be sure to check those folks out. Also, I want to give a shout out to the folks over at A New Domain. As soon as I get out of this hangout, I need to get some things squared away because they are sending me over to Barcelona to cover the Mobile World Congress that's going on. And I hope to find some interesting stuff over there, not only just smartphone related, but smartphone photography related. We shall see. So if you guys have any questions that you'd like to ask me about that, far as, or suggestions on things that you'd like for me to look into, just give me a message, let me know, and I'll do what I can.
The new Windows phones.
To A New Domain. New Windows phone. Interesting. And
hey, Robert. Not Robert, but Ant. What version of Polar are you using? Because if you look at my screen, the crop tool has, when you crop, it's got bars on it.
Yeah, yours does not look anything like mine.
I think what you're using is the old version of it. There's a new version. I just
went to the web.
When you go to the web for it, there's two versions.
Yours says V2 in the address.
I have V2, yeah, exactly. So V2 fixes that problem that you're having.
Why the hell would they not just... Come on, man. Why would y'all even have that up there?
Yeah, V2 fixes that problem. So I wanted to...
Freaking believable. That's QA, dude. There's no...
It's
Well, wait a minute. That says alpha. That's why I didn't click on it.
it's a new version that they're working on.
It says alpha. That's why I
Alpha.
didn't click on it.
And
Okay, so never mind, Polo. You're fine.
I'm a bleeding edge guy sometimes. I will, and I like you can angle the picture differently.
Yeah, that's
Also
just like Lightroom, dude.
It's the same app as Lightroom.
Yeah, it's making me seasick. Look, I'm in an airplane that is having about ready to crash land.
In your front yard, most likely.
So folks that want to inside joke. So folks that want to check out Polar, go ahead and look at either the original version or look at the alpha version 2. Okay. All right. I think that's about all that I had to share. I plugged those websites. I plugged the people sending me across the pond. And, keep watching. Keep sharing this content with everybody you know on your social media. As my mic falls down in front of me for some reason. Sorry about that. Be sure to click the like and subscribe button so you can get this content automatically. If you're curious about joining the smartphone photographers community, just let any of us know here in this here hangout, and we'll have a little heads up about making sure you're fit in, because this isn't about a bunch of spammers. This isn't Instagram. This is a community of not only sharing photos, but it's a community of sharing various tips, tricks, and resources, like finding stuff like polar.com version 2 alpha. All right, folks. We will see you guys next Thursday at about 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, somewhere in that area. And we'll discuss more tips and tricks, and we'll discuss the challenge. But until then, we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Peace out.